Right?
Frogs, niggas.
All my wrists is frogs. All my
Serious.
Dump ball, corner parkway, corner Great Neck, 16 to 28. You see us, nigga,
What's up, bro? It's your boy Nas God, Hip Hop is Real, URL TV. We here in the building. You already know what it is. Well, we at the bar right now. You know what I'm saying? We got the owners of URL TV, the movement. You know what I'm saying?
Listen. Before we start this interview, I'm not Norbes. You know, as many if you know Norbes is a camera boy. But before we start this interview, I just want to say the thoughts and views expressed by Street Star Norbes are not necessarily the thoughts of the URL or its staff members. Extremely, well, I'm lost right now, but you get the picture. The thoughts are not necessarily.
So whatever crazy shit Norbes say, it don't fall on URL or Beasley.
That does not mean that we necessarily agree with it. I'm just giving this disclaimer out prior to the video beginning. So if you're watching this video and Norbes says something offensive, which I'm pretty sure he's gonna do because that's his job and that's what he enjoys doing, please don't hold it against the URL, its staff members, or anyone else affiliated with this organization. This is Street Star Norbes. And this is what he does.
My brother, but I just say what it is. I don't know. You can't get offended by the truth.
Yo, Beasley, man, you know, we always ask you about Norbes. Right. About the crazy stuff Norbes says, you know what I'm saying? And you always defend Norbes and say, that's your brother. Yes. You may not agree with it, but that is your brother and you support him nonetheless.
Right.
One thing I've learned about Norbes over the years, though, he is one of the main reasons why we get a lot of this new talent. You know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you something, man. I hate saying this in front of him because he's going to run with this shit. He's going to call me the bar.
Beasley don't like to compliment.
Y'all need as much of a jerk as Norbes is because he's an asshole. I mean, it's hard for me to get along with Norbes. Like, I don't like Norbes. You know, he's my brother, so I don't like him. Nobody likes Norbes. But the thing is that you have to understand is, as difficult as it is to get along with Norbes, if he wasn't in the culture, you need Norbes. He's needed in this culture. You know what I'm saying? If Norbes wasn't around anymore, things would be boring. You wouldn't have a villain. You wouldn't have a bad guy. You wouldn't have somebody to point your finger at and be frustrated at. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's not the only thing that he's good for, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, he does find a lot of talent. He brings a lot of new faces and opportunity to people that otherwise wouldn't have it. And he's a very creative guy. But he is a jerk. You know what I'm saying? And without him and his annoying personality, you know what I'm saying? People would be bored. Radio shows wouldn't have anything to rant about. New MCs wouldn't have blogs to make. You know, there's just a lot of stuff that wouldn't happen that you take for granted that you don't realize is actually entertaining.
Norbes, when was the first time you met Beasley, man? Because Beasley told me a story how him and Smack ran into each other and they didn't even expect to really partner up and have all this thing, but you know, they felt each other's energy. When did you get in the mix, Norbes?
I actually met Beasley. I heard of Beasley, like, I was working with
a legend, bro. Okay.
I heard of Beasley. I was working with my man in All Access DVD, my man Craze. And I remember hearing the interview and I heard Beasley's name. And you know, whatever. And I remember we had an NYB meeting. So Math was kind of trying to get everybody to rock with each other, and that's how I met Bees right there. And then from there, like what up? I never thought I was gonna work with Bees either. Like it was just on some like, all right, we can do this and that. And then I knew Smack before, so I would always go to Smack, and Smack was trying to bring me in and to do something to fit into the company and whatnot. And that's really how I met Bees. It was kind of like on a whim, and I would run into him occasionally. I used to work by his where he lives at. I ran into him a couple times, and that's pretty much it. And then when we decided to do this, it just, I guess it felt right. You know what I mean? I didn't have a relationship with him, to be honest with you.
That's crazy. What gave you the confidence, Beasley, to say, you know, or what was the vision? Who was the vision to say, you know, let's bring Norbes in? Because I see you guys definitely, you know, you work with the culture. You know what I'm saying? You see,
Norbes just was pretty knowledgeable. You know what I'm saying? He knew a lot about battles. He knew a lot about battle rap and other things going on. Some things that we weren't aware of at the time that we didn't know about certain MCs and things like that. So, you know what I mean? It was just the right fit. And he just, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I didn't really like Norbes. You know what I mean? I was Smack's man. You know what I'm saying? Smack was cool. Smack brought Norbes in. You know what I'm saying? I didn't like it. Like, you know what I'm
The
saying?
phone call I got from Reid was like, cause I didn't know Beasley was a big UFC fan, right? So Beasley's like, yo, it's gonna be locked in the Mav versus Rex. Beasley was like, no, did you watch the UFC? I'm like, why this nigga calling me about the UFC? I'm like, nah, I like boxing. He's like, yeah, me and Smack came up with this idea called the URL, the Ultimate Rap League. It's gonna be the UFC of battle rap. In my head, I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? Like,
Vision.
yeah, Beasley was like, you know, we known for the DVDs, and his exact words were, you got grind time for the nerds. That was him. Not me. This is facts.
See, you saw that disclaimer right before the video came on.
Yeah,
right?
that's
part falls under the disclaimer.
grind time for the nerds. Go ahead,
So
do
he's like, the streets
disclaimer.
is missing something. So I was like, all right, so what you telling me? He was like, his exact words were, you got your finger on the pulse of this shit. So we want to bring you in.
Oh my God.
He was like, that's what you
Kill
said.
me now.
That's what he said. So he's like, Beasley's like, yo, can you set up a card? So I'm like, yo, Beast, what's the budget? Nigga, you better figure it out. So I had to call everybody with no budget, bro. And we put it together, man. I was mad nervous the first event. Cause Smack's exact words were, nigga, this shit is whack, it's on you. It's a lot of pressure. This shit went well, man. Like, I didn't even meet Chico yet.
And tell him how, like, what was so crazy is like, we rented actually a small room for URL, right? In this like big rehearsal studio. But what happened was when we got there, for some reason, there's this big room in the back. Now mind you, these other smaller rooms were like $40, $50 an hour. You know what I'm saying, to rent the rehearsal space. The shit in the back for the day, it was like a flat rate, $5,000 for the day. Back then it was like $5,000 for the day. But for some reason, they just said, sure, you guys can go back there. So we went back there and just set it up, and that was the first one that you saw when we had Star hosting it.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so it was like by accident that we was in that big room.
And a lot of people showed up. It was crazy.
Yeah, more than they wouldn't have fit in that little room.
Yeah, everybody showed up. Like, it was crazy how many people showed up, and a lot of battlers that I called for the card that didn't want to do it were there.
At this point, right now, for this question for both of y'all, what's the hardest thing? We'll start with you, Beasley. Is the hardest thing that you face and deal with today when it comes to battle rap and just dealing with artists and then media, social media, everything?
Man, the hardest thing. I mean, there's a number of things, man. I don't want to be negative, like this is all bad and wrong. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I do have fun doing it. I love it. I love what we do. I love the energy that we provide and create. And but I mean, if you had to ask me what was difficult, I mean, just getting the right matches, keeping the artists happy. Because these guys spend money like it's going out of style. You know what I'm saying? And they already, yo, man. They're like, yo, man, you just got X amount of dollars last week. Like, you spent the money already? Yo, man. You know what I'm saying? So, just keeping them happy. But just, trying to do things different. You know what I'm saying? Like, we like exclusivity, and we try to have our own roster. So it's frustrating when, like, people are trying to book the guys that you market and build up from scratch, you know what I'm saying, and bring them to their arenas, you know what I'm saying, and it's like crazy because we don't really want nobody else's artists, you know what I'm saying, like we not looking for them. Like I'm even trying to enact like a new policy. I was talking with Norbes about, like, say for instance, if like somebody goes to like a league that I would consider a bigger league, right, because of course you have URL, you know what I mean, and then you have the other 2 or 3 leagues that are above 100,000 subscribers. That's what I would consider to be a big league. You know what I'm saying? If you're like a resident MC at one of the leagues that has more than 100,000 and you start out there, it's a high probability that I will never book you. That you won't see that guy on URL because their name is already branded with that company. You know what I'm saying? And they're not gonna come here and raise our flag. You know what I mean? So it's like you come over here to our platform, get all the subscribers, get all the hype and everything else, and then you're bouncing around, you're off, you're taking that energy, and you're going to the next event. So it's like, to us, it's not advantageous. We already went through that with the first class of MCs. You know what I'm saying? Where like everybody wants to book them, the guys that got their name here, and of course there'll be some nerd at the bottom of this comment saying, he started on the underground battle league in the basement. He wasn't on URL first, so you brought him from there. Of course, there's smaller leagues, just like in any sport.
It's like college.
Yeah,
you draft from the college, man.
Right,
like,
you draft from college or
high school or whatever.
The thing that people don't realize is that I get contacted by all those small leagues to draft players out of draft battles out of their league. So it's like, you want me to tell them no?
That's why you're always traveling and stuff like that.
Like people don't understand, and this is what separates the URL from everybody. Nobody dreams of being anywhere else. People dream about being on Smack. You see, Chess is 18. When we started thinking about this, man, Chess was 11 years old. 18 years old, bro.
I tell you, he was watching
That's crazy.
It's insane.
But what it is that those leagues are feeder leagues. You know what I'm saying? They serve a purpose. We need them as much as they need us to blow up artists from their platform to bring new talent through. And I think one misconception that people hear about is people say, "Oh, that's wrong. URL blocks the guys." Or whatever. Anyone that comes from a specific home league, we let them go back there and they're allowed to do as many battles with where they come from as they like. We don't stop anybody from going back to We Go Hard or any of the other leagues that we deal with or pull talent from. So I say that to say that all these leagues are open and available. But there's none of the other major leagues pulling from these platforms and developing stars and making them and bringing them up and blowing them up. There's nobody out there.
Not to mention, I hate when people say, well, what they say, they always say like, you should be able to battle anywhere you want. I say, yeah, you should be able to. But it's also a privilege to battle in URL. And it's an agreement. We're not going to allow you to go anywhere you want. I'm tired of busting my ass. He's tired of busting his ass. So people can benefit of us and go other places. It's annoying, bro.
So it's like when people come here, they understand that coming to URL means exclusivity. You know what I'm saying? With the newer artists. I mean, eventually we'd love to go the direction of 100% exclusivity. And that will really all depend upon, if the veterans that we use, like if they stop battling, the newer guys that we're creating, they have that understanding that this is about exclusivity here. This isn't about anything else. And we're doing that because we just want to harness our own talent and have our own feel. You know what I'm saying? Like, what would be the difference in watching URL and in watching the next league across the water or down the block if they have the same talent doing the same style of matches? There's a million MCs in the world that you guys can grab, market, develop, and bring up from the existing level of where they started.
And not to mention, like, you ever notice every time a big event comes out, they don't book everybody else's artists. They book ours. You know what I'm saying? It's annoying, bro. It's like you put your name over our name, and it's bad, man. It's just not cool, man. Like, I believe,
like, I saw a league put out like, their top 10, the top 10, not their top 10, the top 10 MCs or newcomers or 10 MCs of the year, but they can never do an event with just those top 10 guys and make 5 battles out of those guys. If I named the top 10 URL MCs of the year, it's going to be a banging event. I will never have to use any of these other people's top 10 MCs. I don't need them. I don't want them. Just about any newcomer that like I said, like if there's a newcomer and he's going on to, another league and he's blowing up and he's coming out and he's branded with that league in one of the leagues that's over like 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, I probably never book him. I don't want him. I'm not interested in seeing him on our league unless he's going to completely drop his flag and come under the URL banner. But if he's on one of the big majors, most likely he's not. And it doesn't have to. And we don't have to have every single MC. We're not on a mission to conquer every MC.
Well, LeBron don't play in Turkey.
Right. No. But what I'm saying, though, Norbes, is that you're gonna develop talent, right? Yeah. And some of that talent is gonna live in other places, and that's the beauty of having different leagues. Because if you can see certain talent on URL, then you can go to the next league and see talent on that league, and then you can go to another league and see talent on that league. that makes it dope. What will make it fun for me is for some of the other leagues to develop some dope talent that I can't get my hands on. You know what I'm saying? Go make a Briz Rothstein, a T-Top, a Chess, some guys that I can't utilize on my platform that are dope, that the people want to see and care about. And then then it would be fun. Because then it would make sense to do maybe a league versus league thing.
Okay.
And I think that would up those companies don't even realize, and I'm giving these jewels away, that would up your ante. Because you would have your own talent that only people could only see that talent on that league. But nobody wants to do that. They want to wait till URL develops some talent or does a PG or the Born Legacy and then brings in some new guys and
that's
then decide to do
if
it.
y'all don't realize, the PG's on April 9th. I put no names on the flyer. The shit says PG's April 9th.
Damn.
Flat out, because I'm just tired of, as soon as I'll say, yo, I like this MC, he's booked everywhere tomorrow.
Like Twerk.
So I'm not letting nobody know what's happening.
But not saying he's booked everywhere, but like a name like
yeah,
Twerk.
like New Jersey Twerk, like New Jersey Twerk.
I know everybody probably want him now.
Man,
New Jersey Twerk had a battle out that had, what was it before he did Born Legacy?
2,000 views.
2,000 views.
In a week, it went up to what, like 30?
It went up to 30.
Before
After his URL, no, I know what you're talking about.
Just before his battle.
I know what you're talking
Got
about.
the trailer. Yeah.
So what I say that to say that this is somebody who's a talent who probably didn't have that much notoriety, right? And when we mentioned his name and Norbes found him and mentioned his name, people laughed, they made jokes. But once they actually got a chance to see him perform in a different light, now he's just one of the most sought after people. Every league is in his inbox. Every league. You know what I'm saying? And he hasn't been taking the battles. But it just goes to show you that there's people out there, but do you have the marketing savvy to develop them and make them desirable and something that people want to see? You know what I mean? And that's where the issue comes in at. So it's not about URL blocking battles. It's about us spending time to pick people and go through the bullshit that the fans put us through. We love you guys, but we bring out new names. We don't like the new guys. We feel like you should go with the other guys. And then the battles drop, and then they do 500,000 in a week. New Jersey Twerk and Dougie did more views than, shouts to Big T and Head Ice, than Big T and Head Ice did on the number 2 league in the game. You feel what I'm saying? And that battle came out a week after their battle, and they have more viewership than that. Now, of course, we have a few more subscribers in the number 2 league, but the number 2 league is pretty big as well, right?
But the names.
At one point, does your star power, right, or your top tier status come into play? You know what I'm saying? Like, these guys are doing numbers. These guys are beating even URL veterans, or beating URL
top tier dude.
Battle views on our channel. So, while some people say they don't like it, evidently there's a new audience in battle rap that does like it. It's just like music. It's just continuing to grow.
Norbes, how about you, man? What's one thing that in this day and age of battle rap that really grinds your gears?
Fighting.
Honestly, man, like, I just don't like when people take shots at Smack or Beasley. Like,
okay, you take that personal.
Yeah, because I love my brothers, man. Like, that's why I don't mind taking all the flack or the hate and stuff like that. Like, I feel like a lot of people don't respect what Smack has done for them in their careers, and I feel like everybody always says, man, I ain't need this and that, and then all of a sudden when you feel like you reached a point, it's like, man, I ain't never need Smack. And I just feel like a lot of people need to respect what that man has done, period, throughout the history of hip-hop, to be honest with you. Since he hit the scene, him and Beasley been doing it, forever. So, like, I just don't like that. Like, we argue all the time. But at the end of the day, I love my brothers, man. I love Smack. Chico's an asshole sometimes, but still my brother. You know what I mean? Love him to death. But, like, it's just, I feel like a lot of people don't appreciate what we bring to the table. Like, this is actually our lives. Beasley walked down the block, do sit-ups in the park, people recognize him. I walk over here, people recognize us. Like, we can't get away with nothing no more. So it's like, people don't understand, like, this actually completely changed a lot of our lives. You know what I'm saying? Like, Smack wasn't, the way Smack looks now compared to when he was just behind the camera is completely opposite. You know what I'm saying? Now he's a superstar. You know what I mean? I'm not lying. He's a fucking pain in the ass.
Smack before the bid.
Smack is an artist, man.
Oh, he's horrible.
He's useless, man.
We was in Tampa. This nigga walks into the suite, and he's just like, this is what we do. I'm looking at this nigga like, I hate this nigga, bro. Like, I really, but you gotta really, to me, respect what he's done for hip hop in general. To be honest with you, I just feel like people kind of take advantage of that and take it for granted, actually.
Yeah, I mean, guys, I guess they get to a certain point and they believe that, they've made it. You know what I'm saying? Then they go out and then it doesn't work out on the road, and then, oh, you should bring so-and-so back. And then the way that they left was so ill and crazy, people forget that. And then they just be like, yo, you guys should just put your differences aside and pay him his money and bring him back. Yeah, put him on Summer Madness 7. He'd be like, yo, did you not remember that this is the dude that just told me to fuck my mother and this and that and blah, 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 blah. And, and we're human. You know what I'm saying? So we it gets crazy, it gets tricky. We forgive a lot of people and we let a lot of stuff slide, but sometimes it takes time. It's a process.
Beasley be wanting to put niggas in a figure 4 leg locks. Like,
I don't want to do none of that, man. I'm chilling, man. I don't do any of that.
Like even with the demands, like somebody would be like, yeah, so we want to come. Niggas come to us to get their buzz up, and I'm not even talking about URL rappers. I'm talking about industry rappers. And then they want this astronomical number, like if we just shitting out money everywhere. Mm-hmm. That shit is crazy. Even some guys too, like they'll say stuff like, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that. You know what I'm saying? And then they don't. It just doesn't make sense. So to them, by us saying no, we're doing bad business. Mm-hmm. No, what it is you have the right to make an offer. We have the right to accept it, or we have a right to make an offer, and you have the right to accept it. But if we don't accept your offer, or we decline for whatever reason we have, that's our choice as a business and a company, and it's your choice as an individual. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? To do what you want to do. But don't make it seem like we did you wrong. You know what I'm saying? We don't owe anybody any money.
Let me tell you about the birds and the bees. Hoes flap when you whipping up a key. Don't stop till you froze up.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I saw a blog earlier you guys did with DNA when he was talking about why certain battle rappers.
I wanted to ask y'all that question.
Charge smack more. Mm-hmm. And I do understand we are the world's most respected, and that is the moniker and the things that we wear and own up to, and that's fine. Mm-hmm. But that's about.
I need a dark piece of Fonto. Had the blinds going blind, looking for narcos. Whipping the tar slow, scale it out, zipping and imprinted with barcodes. Fuck a runner back in the Civic, whipping the car slow. Can't go outside for a broad though. Might come outside if he want for my young boy. He testing me already, know he gon' want more. Cause my dope it be at 9. Watch the big fish on the hook, it might be a line. He was on the wrong corner, he smoked, homie a dime. We all for the quad 9. Acetone it down, we rock it and let it drop. When it hit the block, it's all gon' fly. Never ask questions and we never ask why. I said it's all gon' fly, but we never ask questions and we never ask why. Let me tell you about the birds and the bees. Hoes flap when you whipping up a key. Don't stop till you froze up your sleeve.